How goes it all? Welcome back to Patterson Art Properties. Hopefully you guys having a great and exceptional day. Don't forget Patterson Art Properties. We wholesale real estate in the DMV area, Philadelphia, Reading, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area, all around there. So check out our website and go from there. All right. So, well, for the last 10 years now, family, people have been moving to the great state of Texas, specifically to major cities like Dallas, been there, beautiful city, Houston, beautiful city, just came back from there, and Austin, Texas. Went there one time, nice city. And hey, like any state, Texas has its ups and downs. But one thing that Texas has had compared to other states like California and New York, they do not have no state income taxes and cheaper cost of living. But in 2023, like all major cities across the United States of America, all growing metropolitan areas, the cost of living is at an all-time high, regardless of the state tax situation. Texas has no rent stabilization or rent controls. Instead, exceptions, and hey, for a landlord like me, that's a beautiful thing. So I'm not downing. This is not a negative connotation towards Texas or any other state. So if you're going to be negative in the comment section, you're just going to get blocked. All right. Because this is nothing but positivity and perspective here. But anyways, like I said, Texas has no stabilization or rent control laws. Instead, except for like lease terms and conditions can limit the rent increase. So with that being said, especially with the eviction moratorium being lifted from the 2020 pandemic, landlords in lots of states have the chance to raise rents at this moment in time, as I'm recording this video in June of 2023. Going to the article that I read the other day, unfortunately, Texas has no law control or rent stabilization laws like in the states. Hence, the state fails to regulate or intervene on how much a landlord can raise the rent in Texas. Like I said, this is an upside for a landlord, but a lot of times it can be downside for tenants. It can become very egregious, and that's how gentrification can take place all at the same time. According to the Apartment List National Rent Report, rents in key cities in Texas have gone up over the past 6 to 12 months. Dallas, for example, saw a 5% rent increase over the past 6 months, and Austin saw a 22% rent increase over the past 12 months. A Redfin data report suggests that the Austin rent increase could be as high as 40% year over year. The median fair market rent in Texas is $1,000 for a 2-bedroom home in 2023. That's not bad, especially in today's world. Only a fixed term lease can bind the landlord not to raise the rent until the lease ends. After the lease ends, the landlord can raise however they want when renewing the lease. The landlord can increase the rent as much as they intend to. However, this can cause a loss of income in the future for specific landlords. If tenants find the rent unreasonable, they are likely to move out when they find something within the budget. However, since the rent is high, conflicting with the space and location, there are chances to have new tenants anytime soon. Anyhow, when the old tenants leave, it's a loss of income for the landlord. That's because the property will stay vacant until someone comes along and agrees to hike rents. Now, one might say, well, with legal rights do tenants have in a great what legal rights do tenants have in the great state of Texas? According to the article, the legal rights include making a complaint to any governmental agency regarding certain conditions in the building, such as health inspectors, building inspectors, fire departments, or any other regulatory body for lousy living conditions. And whether you like it or not, one thing I can say is I like places that actually have those kind of inspections, because you do have a lot of slum landlords. I'm not one of them. And they don't care. They will let their property deteriorate. And if you ever saw the old movie from the 90s with Joe Pesci, it was called The Super. Have the people living with rats, roaches, barely electricity not running, no heat, no air conditioning, third world conditions, and they'll just say, hey, give me the rent. I'm not going to fix anything. Give me the rent. So, and then they'll continuously increase the rent, hence the term slumlord. So, and heck, where I buy real estate at in Pennsylvania, they inspect my property at least every 2 years. And I get it. At first, it was a surprise to me because I'm from Virginia, where you don't have that. But unless you have public housing, because then you're getting funding from the federal government and the state government. So it's a different subject matter for a different day. But I get it because, tenants should have rights. Now, in certain states, they have too many rights, where they allows them to basically become squatters in people's properties, and then landlords lose out in that specific aspect. However, I get it because you have certain landlords out here that just pieces of crap, and, they will let their tenants squander and freeze and die to death as long as they collect the rent. So I understand. But anyways, article says by joining the tenant union, suppose the landlord is uncomfortable with the tenant joining in the union and retaliates against it. However, it is the legal right of the tenant to join any tenant union. Use rent money to fix any defects in the rental unit. The tenant can use the rent money for these fixes when the landlord has failed to comply with the fixes, resulting in terrible living conditions, health hazards, or safety hazards. So at the end of the day, I'm all for decent regulation, not over regulation of anything. And I'm all for being a good landlord. That's just period. I'm not the one that's trying to be a bad landlord, because I want people. I want to provide a good, decent living space for people, and so that I can not only provide them a great living space and the great service by utilizing a property management company, but then I get paid for it, and it all works out at the end of the day. So on that note, do the great three things: like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. As I always say, make money moves, or you're gonna live like a fool.